summer of 2010, there was something I've been waiting for since its initial announcement. Persona 3 Portable. Now, why was this such a big deal, you may ask? Well, my first Persona game happened to be Persona 3 Fest for PS2. After hearing about Persona 3 Portable and the concept of being able to play as a female protagonist, I absolutely freaked out. Especially since, kinda had a crush on these two at the time. There was just one problem. I didn't own a PSP. I nearly gave up on ever being able to play the game again, but through a different, unique perspective this time. Until one day that summer, I was spending time with my dad in a flea market when we happened to pass by an electronics section, and there it was, a PSP. I don't know what it was about this PSP. It was slightly used, but I just remember thinking, this is it. In the end, I was able to get the PSP, and in doing so, Persona 3 Portable. Years later, and I felt the urge to pick up my PSP again. Actually, just recently, I got a brand new one. It's the Sony PSP 3000, just like my first one, but now blossom pink with the Japan region. And if you're curious, yes, I still have my original Persona 3 Portable game as well. With this game, there definitely were a lot of expectations at the time. However, I didn't think to watch any trailers ahead of time, which led me to be a bit disappointed with the inability to walk around freely like you can in Persona 3 Fest. You can wander around in the dungeons known as Tartarus, though. Other than that, you see your main protagonist portrait in the corner and sort of an eagle eye view of the area you're in. There's even a feature later in the game where you can quick travel. Although I miss the walking aspect of the game like the original, it's still a good game and one I would definitely recommend, especially since you can choose if you want to play as the male or female protagonist in the beginning of the game. Depending on who you choose will change the way not only how the characters act with the main protagonist, but it also changes the school clubs you can join and the social links you can experience. I didn't just play Persona 3 Portable on the PSP though, there were other games too, including the Harvest Moon games. Not that Harvest Moon. I'm talking about the OG Harvest Moon. I'm a big fan of Harvest Moon and the Story of Seasons games. My first game of the franchise was none other than Harvest Moon Back to Nature for PlayStation. Having played that, I wanted to play Harvest Moon Boy and Girl for the PSP. In the PlayStation version, you can only play as a boy, but in the PSP version, you can choose whether to play as a boy or a girl as you go about your farming life, make friends, and get married. I've also played a bit of Harvest Moon Hero of Leaf Valley, which is actually one I haven't played too much of, but wouldn't mind going back and playing again. It's been years since the PSP was first released, but I find that over time, it's still something that's nice to pick up and play every now and then. Sure, there's emulators, but there's something different picking up the actual handheld or playing on the console that just feels nostalgic. I don't know. It just feels like lately a lot of new games these days don't usually feel the same as they used to. Not to say that there aren't any good current games, but it's always a nice feeling going back to some retro or older games and reliving my childhood memories. Hey everyone, if you watched this video to the end, you're awesome and I thank you. If you would be so kind as to give a like, drop a comment about your experience with the PSP and what games you used to enjoy or maybe still do to this day. If you never had or played a PSP, feel free to comment about that as well. Did you have any PSP games you wanted to play? If so, what were they? Also, don't forget to subscribe. I've got plans to make more content and live stream, so I'd appreciate the support. Thank you again, and I hope you have a wonderful day or evening. Bye!